Hey guys, I hope you're okay. Today I'm going to be deciding my next read by playing a game of Most Likely To. So if you don't know, Most Likely To is a game a lot of people play at school and college and when you want to get drunk, where you do most likely to do a certain thing, and then whoever is voted the most likely typically has to drink. That's pretty much how a drinking game works. So for example, most likely to get arrested, and then your group of friends you pick. Now Kat from Brews and Reviews actually did her version of this where she adapted it to suit books. So it'd be most likely to do bookish things, and she did one video for books and one video for characters, and I loved it. And I when I watched it I saw so much potential for this video. So I messaged Kat and I asked if she would be okay with me adapting her game to pick my next read, and she said that was absolutely fine. Obviously I will link Kat's video down below, and I will link Kat's channel. Make sure you go and check her out and subscribe if you are not already, but let's be real, y'all probably are, because she is fabulous. So I'm going to do it. I'm using the same prompts that Kat used for hers, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you my books from most likely at the top to least likely at the bottom, and I'm going to give them a score from 5 points for the most likely to 1 point for the least likely, and then at the end I will tot up all of my scores, and whichever book has the highest rating is my next read. That's how it's going to work. Hopefully that'll go well. I can see it being a mess, but we'll see. So quickly, just to run you through the books I've chosen. The first one is Neverworld Wait by Marisha Pessl. This is a story that follows some teenagers. I think they're in a car crash and they end up repeating the same event over and over again. And the only way they can escape the loop is by choosing one of them to survive and the rest are going to die. Now the next story is Post-Apocalyptic Paradise by Alice Black. This follows a young boy called Wyatt who presumes himself to be the last human on Earth after the apocalypse, but he soon finds out he is not. And after he is severely injured, he is fitted with a prosthetic arm, an arm that holds many secrets, and suddenly he becomes a big target. Next, we have the book Call Me Mummy by Tina Baker. This follows a woman who wants a child, so she took one. This follows a woman who is known as Mummy as she sees a child being ignored by her mother in a park, and she decides to take her because the mother clearly doesn't value having a child. This story then follows two perspectives of the mother who is being treated badly by the media and being labelled as a scummy mummy because she didn't care enough about her child, and it also follows Mummy's perspective of trying to make the child she took the perfect child for her. Next, I have Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green. This is a story that follows two lads who are both trying to fake being over their past relationships, so they decide to fake date, and we'll see where it goes from there. And the final book I've chosen is History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera. This follows a character called Griffin who is reeling from the loss of his boyfriend. And this follows Griffin turning to someone who he didn't think he would ever turn to for help, which is his ex-boyfriend's new partner, and trying to navigate his grief over losing his partner. So these are the 5 books I'm going to be rating based on the prompts that Kat has given me. I'm super excited, so let's just get straight into it. So the first prompt is most likely to attract me based on the cover. And this is the order I've gone for. So Heartbreak Boys, I think it's perfect for me. It obviously shows that it's an LGBT relationship and it's obviously a YA book. Also, I really like bright colours, so that is one way to attract me. I don't care what the book is about. If you show me a bright colour, I'm going to pick it up because I think it's pretty. So that's a perfect way to attract me. Then with Neverworld Wake, again, absolutely, I think the cover is stunning. There's a lot of colours on there, so I do find it attractive. And to be honest, I picked this book based on the cover. Like, I wouldn't have looked at it without this cover, I'm going to be real with you. Then Call Me Mummy, it's cliche thriller, so dark, with just one element on it. You see it in a lot of thrillers. It's something I know I would love because I know instantly that's a thriller. It really just shows me what the story's about. And fourth, I went for History Is All You Left Me because I don't think this really tells me much about what the story is. I wouldn't know what it was about. I wouldn't know what the genre was about. I would look at that and suddenly think water, which to be fair, it does relate to the plot quite a bit. But I wouldn't know anything about what it was other than the fact it's an Adam Silvera book. So not really appealing to me. And lastly, sadly, I chose Post-Apocalyptic Paradise because based on the cover, I see a metallic robotic prosthetic arm. Suddenly I think, sci-fi, which is not my kind of book at all. This is normally something that would attract me, but because it's robotic and it looks like flames and sparks coming off it, I instantly just think, sci-fi, not really for me. Even though it says post-apocalypse on there, I'm like, still sci-fi. So that's where I went with that. So the next prompt is most likely to keep me up all night reading. And this is the order I went with. So the first one is Call Me Mummy, because I feel as though as a thriller, I would just be so hooked, I would have to find out how it ends. Especially with something like this, I think it would just be a phenomenal story. So I'm already hooked. I'm already wanting to stay awake. Based on experience, I put Neverworld Wake next because I've read books similar to this and I really love like a YA thriller mystery kind of thing. I don't really know the genre that Neverworld Wake would fit, but I just feel like that'd be a book I'd want to know what happens, because obviously we are faced with the fact that all of them are going to die apart from one. I'm just sat here now like, which one? I already want to know. So I would probably stay awake all night and read it and find out. Then I went with Post-Apocalyptic Paradise because I feel as though it's a dystopian. I love the dystopia. I never feel like anyone's safe in a dystopian. So it's always fun. I'm already hooked. I do want to know what's going to happen. Then History Is All You Left Me. Just typical Adam Silvera. I feel as though I'm more likely to read his books to the end. With Adam Silvera, and then to be fair, the same with Simon James Green, I feel as though emotionally I need breaks with Adam Silvera, so I would have to put it down. So I probably wouldn't stay up all night to finish it. And then with Heartbreak Boys at the bottom, it's a cute book that I would be more than happy to stop at any chapter and go, that was cute, I'm done. I will pick it up another time when I need another dose of cuteness. So that's where I went with that one. Now, the third prompt is most likely to make me laugh out loud. So I went with this order. Heartbreak Boys is obviously a YA romance contemporary. It's going to be full of laughs, especially with Simon James Green, because I know he is an author that writes amazingly socially awkward characters, so I know 100% I'd laugh. With the rest, it was a bit more difficult. Neverworld Wake, I think the main characters in it are like rich kids, and I feel as though they're just like, they're good to laugh at rather than laugh with. Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, I think it'll be dark, but I think there is potential for it to be funny. Obviously, I've never read any of these, so these are just random predictions. And I do feel as though whilst Call Me Mummy is a dark thriller, it might have a couple of funny moments. And I just know reading an Adam Silvera book, I'm just going to break my heart and cry at History Is All You Left Me, so there's going to be no laughing. So the fourth prompt here was the book most likely to make me cry. Here is my order. It probably comes as no surprise to anyone. History Is All You Left Me will obviously be first. It's Adam Silvera. I haven't read an Adam Silvera book that I haven't cried at yet. So History Is All You Left Me is 100% going to make me cry. Call Me Mummy, because I thought that it could be quite a hard theme. Like, Call Me Mummy is based on the fact that a woman wanted a child, so she took one. Are we going to get some sort of backstory as to why she doesn't have children? And then also maybe from the mother who's lost her child's perspective of losing the child. You know, I think there's potential for a lot of emotions there. Neverworld Wake, I think maybe a character could go through growth. I'm basing my thoughts of Neverworld Wake on a film that I saw, and I can't remember what the film was called, but it was a very similar situation where they constantly relived the same night and had to choose something to end the loop. And that film made me cry. So there's a chance the book will. Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, I don't know. It is a post-apocalypse, so there is a good chance. But I think less likely, because I just think it's more dark. It's going to be more action-packed and stuff like that, more than emotional. And then Heartbreak Boys, I think it'll just be hilarious. I think I'll just have a great time. And even the emotional parts, I don't think I'll cry. I think I'll just feel heartwarming, you know? Now, the next one is most likely to DNF. I'm struggling with this one. I don't think I'd DNF any of them, so this is really difficult. But this is the order I went with. Hey guys, Editing Connor here. I just wanted to jump in quickly and say that with regards to most likely to DNF, I didn't want to give a book I was most likely to DNF 5 points, because then it'd just push it up in my reading. So I didn't want to also change the game of least likely to. So I made it most likely to not DNF, but I forgot to explain that to you guys. So the one I am most likely to DNF is at the bottom, and then the one I'm least likely to DNF is at the top. And I completely forgot to explain why I was switching them around, but just kind of bear with me. I'm basically giving 5 points to the book I would least likely DNF. Sorry about that. Let's go back to the video. Hope you enjoyed it so far. Heartbreak Boys, I don't think I'll DNF because it's Simon James Green, one of my favourite authors. I have not read a book of his that I haven't fallen absolutely in love with, especially when it features a dweeby character who I absolutely adore. Then History Is All You Left Me, I think I'll just be an emotional wreck and I'll love every second of the ride. I'm fine with that. Then I went with Call Me Mummy because it's a highly anticipated book. I can't see any reason why I wouldn't love it so much. Neverworld Wake, I feel bad rating these ones so low because I don't think I'd DNF any of them, but Neverworld Wake, I think it has potential for me to DNF because I think there's a potential that I could start reading it and just think, I don't like any of these characters because they are all a bit rich and snobby, and I think that's what their characters are meant to be, and I don't typically like characters like that. And then sadly I put Post-Apocalyptic Paradise last, just because it's a dystopian, but it's also a sci-fi, and I don't do sci-fi very often. It's very rare I pick a sci-fi up, so if I was going to probably DNF it, it'd be because of sci-fi elements. But I don't think I'm going to DNF any of them, so, you know, don't take any of my thoughts on that particular one to heart, because I think I will love all of them. But I had to think very hard about that one. Now this next one was really difficult as well, and that is most likely to make me write fanfiction. So I struggled, but here I am. I went with Heartbreak Boys first because I feel as though our two main characters, I think they're really cute. I think they're going to have a really cute, dweeby, fun relationship. And I think it would be lovely for me to write fanfiction about what journeys they go on after the events of the book. History Is All You Left Me I chose because I thought, I don't know how this is going to go, but I imagine I'm going to cry. So I'd like to write a happy fanfiction just so I don't break down. I don't know of any stories with Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, but I would love to write some sort of fanfiction on the main character of Wyatt, because it said that he believes himself to be the last human. And I think it'd be really interesting to get some of his stories from before the events of the book, finding out what he did when he thought he was the last human. Then Neverworld Wake, I thought it'd be really interesting. I don't really think I'd write fanfiction about it, if I'm honest. I can't think of anything. And then for the bottom one, Call Me Mummy, it'd be weird writing fanfiction on a book where a woman kidnaps a child. So, not going to go there. Now, the next prompt is most likely to recommend. I think Kat said that she didn't know whether this would apply to friends, for example, because it'd very much depend on the genres they read. So she aimed it towards a more generic audience. So that's what I'm doing as well. So most likely to recommend to a generic audience. This is the order I went with. I went with History Is All You Left Me because, based on my experience with Adam Silvera books, there is a good chance I'm going to recommend this book to everyone once I actually read it. Then Heartbreak Boys because it's just cute and fun and interesting. Again, basing this off previous Simon James Green books. I feel as though I'll really enjoy Neverworld Wake, but it'll be more of an acquired taste. Call Me Mummy, I think, can be quite sensitive to some people because of the, you know, child element. I think a lot of people could not like that content, so I probably won't recommend it to everyone, but I would recommend it probably. And then Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, I think I'd recommend it very much to dystopian sci-fi fans, but for the majority of people I know who read fantasy and thrillers, and it's not going to work for my viewership to recommend this type of book to them. So this is based on the people in my circle who I would normally recommend books to. This is probably the order I'd go. So the next one is most likely to make me buy merchandise. So this is the order I went with. Heartbreak Boys I went with because I think I'd ship their relationship. And if I could find Noah merchandise, I'd have bought it already. I haven't really looked. I might have to look. But yeah, that's why I went with that one. Then History Is All You Left Me. I imagine I'd really love these characters as well, so that's why I went with that one. I can really see the cover of Post-Apocalyptic Paradise as a poster, and I would love that. I think that'd be really interesting. Neverworld Wake, I think again, poster-wise, it would look stunning, but I can't really think of a merchandise item. Like when it's fantasies and stuff, you can see that, but something like this, probably not so much. And then Call Me Mummy, again, quite a sensitive topic, probably not best for merchandise. So the last prompt is most likely to get a TV or film adaptation. So I went with this order. I think in terms of thrillers, Call Me Mummy would be very interesting for a TV show. I can imagine it being like a mini series on ITV or BBC. If you're not from England, I hope you know what they are. They're TV channels. I can imagine it being like a short mini series that would be really, really interesting. Heartbreak Boys, I can definitely see being a movie as opposed to a film. I get sort of like Love, Simon vibes from it. I imagine something like that. Post-Apocalyptic Paradise, I imagine being a very, very interesting film. There was a time a while ago where like dystopians were very in, so they're not around as much, so it might be interesting to bring that back. History Is All You Left Me, I put fourth because I think there are, I mean, I've not read this, so I really can't comment. In my opinion, if any Adam Silvera book was getting an adaptation, it's going to be They Both Die at the End. So History Is All You Left Me is the bottom of my list in terms of what I want adapted. And then Neverworld Wake, I put bottom because I said that there is a film that I think sounds very similar to this already. So it's like, it's already been done. You know, it's less enticing to me. So that's what I went with. So guys, now I'm going to tot up all of my scores and I will let you know where they all ranked. So I will see you in a second. Alright, so I have totted up my scores and based on ratings, this is my final ranking. I would most likely enjoy Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green, followed closely by Call Me Mummy by Tina Baker, then Neverworld Wait by Marisha Pessel, then History Is All You Left Me by Adam Silvera, and Post-Apocalyptic Paradise by Alasterius Black. This surprised me. I did not expect this. I expected History Is All You Left Me to be a lot higher, if not the winner. I expected Neverworld Wait to be higher. I don't know what I expected. I am shocked by this. Truly shocked. I thought Adam Silvera, it would be at the top. 100%. Most likely to be the one I love. So I'm shooketh. But that does mean officially my next read is Heartbreak Boys by Simon James Green, which makes me really happy. Because I know that my game here was not ranking on enjoyment, but it'd be interesting to see if my predictions on what the book was most likely to make me do would do. So maybe I'll do a follow-up. Let me know down in the comments. Obviously, I've done things like most likely to make me cry or most likely to make me write fan fiction. Let me know if you want me to. I would be very willing to do a follow-up video where I do this entire thing again, but give them my actual thoughts as opposed to just predictions. So if you want that, let me know in the comments below. Leave me a tick and actually give me a comment as well. That'd be lovely. But if you don't want to leave a comment as such, you just want to leave an emoji so I know that you are here, leave a tick. And I will also take that to assume that you want me to do the video. If you don't want me to do that video, leave an X. It's fine. I'm absolutely fine by that. But guys, that is it from me. So thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Like I said, leave me a comment down below. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already. And I will see you next time. Bye.